JB, this is really part of the reasoning that Dr. Doom believes that we're in some sort of a secular decline in America. You know, I was talking to somebody the other day, and he said the problem is there's too many ifs, ands, or buts in America. You don't know how much it's going to cost. You don't know what the numbers are. They start with one set of numbers.
I know how much it will cost. It will cost much more than what they're telling you.
Exactly.
That's for sure.
That's a for sure, yeah.
And the quality will be lower than it is now.
Always.
And it's already very low now in healthcare.
So what does this mean? It means America has so many distractions, you can break them off.
Well, basically, this year what it means, if you look at the borrowing needs of the U.S. government, this year the government debt will increase by more than $2 trillion. I am convinced that for the next few years, every year, the U.S. will need to borrow an additional $2 trillion. And eventually, this time around, 2007, 2008, we had the financial crisis, and private sector enterprises like AIG and government-sponsored enterprises like Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac went bust. Next station is when the U.S. government goes bust.
They're not, no. Nobody ever talks about America going bust.
Well,
they're going to default?
They'll talk about this one day.
They're going to default.
First, they'll print money. And that they can do. You just issue more banknotes to pay for the wars in Iraq and in Afghanistan and for health care, and that leads to a lower dollar. And when people see that the dollar goes down and has no value in terms of giving you any interest, then they move into other assets like luxury flats in Hong Kong and gold and other commodities.
So without actually establishing a new reserve currency, people are in effect doing that through these different avenues.
Precisely. At the moment, you have essentially assets becoming cash. Because one of the functions of cash is essentially the ability to liquidate it very quickly and change it into some assets or goods if you need to buy something. Or one of the functions is obviously to be a store of value. The US dollar has no function as a store of value. So the question is, do you rather own the Dow Jones? That goes up when the dollar is weak. Of course, if one day the dollar strengthens considerably, the Dow will probably go down, and also commodity prices.
Let me bring up a question, because a lot of them are coming in. I got to get started on these, otherwise we're not going to fit most of them in. Isle writes in, got the one from Isle Martin there, yank this one up. Should a new world currency be printed on a new medium? Rubber. Why not? You know, something tangible, something you can get your hands around.
No, but the supply of rubber can be increased very quickly. I mean, a new currency, in my opinion, does not necessarily have to be based on gold, but it has to be based on discipline, that one comes to an agreement that the quantity of money and credit can only be increased by a certain amount every year. And once that link breaks down, you have unlimited abilities to print money and to expand credit, and this is happening today. And then people say, well, there's no inflation in the system. Well, inflation can manifest itself in many different ways. Say, luxury flats in Hong Kong going up, or the price of gold going up, or the price of other commodities going up, and so forth and so on.
Demand pull rather than cost push inflation.
Yes, absolutely.
But does it make a difference, though? It lands in different places.
It lands in different places. The inflation we have nowadays is a debasement of the currency. In other words, that cash loses its purchasing power. And not just in the U.S., everywhere.
So basically we're going into what kind of a cycle then?
Well, in my opinion, will
inflation leading to depressionary deflation?
No, what you can get, the Latin American type of situation in the 1980s. At that time in Latin America, prices domestically rose strongly. Asset prices in local currency went up strongly. But the currency was weak. That kind of a situation.
I think we call that banananomics or something like that.
Correct.